Hello, everyone. I need to learn how to fade out the music, because it's like, stops. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming in and joining us tonight. I have my co-host, Julian. Look, I pointed the right way the first time.
Pretty good.
Who is with us every week. And then below me, I have Troy from Mountain Man Treasures, who has been on before, as well as Miss Taffy. So thank you both for coming on. I am going to make Troy big first, then Taffy, and let them introduce themselves. And then I will, Julian and I can do a short introduction. Somebody commented that a lot of times our guests might have viewers coming and they don't know me or Julian, so they asked that we introduce ourselves. So we will do that as well after Troy and Miss Taffy are done. So here is Troy.
Hey, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure. I'm a part-time reseller based in Montana. I work at a radio station during the day. And then when I get off, that's when I do YouTube, eBay, that sort of thing. And yeah, I don't know what you want to know. I got Creepy Santa. Where is he? He's behind here. He's kind of looking over my shoulder. I just aspire one day to have a channel as big as Cat and a beard as big as Julian's. That's really what I'm looking for.
Goals. All right, here's Miss Taffy.
Hello, everybody. Taffy, just like the candy. I'm also a part-time reseller out of Los Angeles, California. Some people may know me for my BHS sale. That's all I've been looking for lately. And that's about it. I had a cell phone store. Now I'm doing I'm sorry. And now thrifting and everything online on eBay part-time.
Perfect. All right. Julian, do you want to go big? I think we can just do it small. We can just do it small.
Hey, I'm Julian, and I am a full-time reseller out of South Carolina. I also have a YouTube, which is the Bearded Thrift Machine, and an Instagram. And fun fact, Troy was my first live I've ever done. I wanted to bring that up because I remember I had 100 subs, and Troy was like, "You should come on my show," and I said, "Yes." Yeah. Thank you, Troy.
We had two
awesome.
That's
dope.
I'm
Kat. I'm the nurse flipper. If you guys do not know me, I am full-time reselling. I still work 2 days a week as a nurse, and I've been selling on eBay off and on since 1999. Makes me feel very old. So Duncan, I think Duncan's question, I should remember it by now. I think it's like for each of us to give our best tip for like selling on eBay, I believe. Is that right, Julian? I think that's it.
I think that is always the question.
So what is one tip you would give to new or experienced resellers as far as like selling online?
Well, I've got actually a video coming out tomorrow where I touch on this, on knowing how to use sell-through. What is it? How to use it? Being aware of what the sell-through rate is for different items. I think it's hugely important to know and understand that. That doesn't mean you always have to follow it. Sometimes you follow your gut and you buy something that you think, you know what, I can undercut the price, or mine is going to sell because it's better condition, whatever. But I think, especially for new sellers, you got to understand sell-through. Otherwise, you're going to be hanging on to a lot of inventory for a long time.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. I agree. I would say search what's in demand, gain as much knowledge as you can, and go from there.
I always usually say the same thing. I say start at your home, and before you go buy a whole bunch of things and get out there in the thrift store and stuff. So that will teach you how to like look up sold comps, and your overhead is like zero because it's just stuff laying around the house.
And to build on that, mine is to always buy low, because you make your money on the buy, not the sale. You got to make sure you keep your buy cost low. I have been like, I typically buy at 10% personally, but with some of my higher price, like I actually have a $3,000 Yadro piece sitting right there on my counter, and I paid $750 for it. So I'm only gonna triple my money, but triple my money is making $1,400 in profit, and I'm okay with that. So I'm trying to get into some bigger dollar items that will bring me more profit. But as a beginner, like I'm just getting to that point of 2 years of consistently listing and selling to feel comfortable putting out that much money on one item. So yeah, so now I'm okay with some of the bigger stuff. I look at the dollar profit versus the percent. And yeah, Duncan also wants to know if we are seeing many glitches on eBay. He said they raised his late delivery to 75% late by accident.
I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, every once in a while I get the error where it says can't create a draft or whatever, like you have no internet signal. And I get that every now and again, but otherwise, no. I mean, I put the store on vacation mode today and somebody turned off the light switch. Like nothing's happening today, but I don't think it's a glitch.
Okay. I haven't noticed any glitches either on my eBay as of right now. Crossing my fingers.
I can't say that I have. No.
Yeah, I have not either. I know, like on the phone, Troy, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Like it'll say error. Well, I think what that is that category was changed in the new thing. Like if you're selling similar from a sold, it was in a category that no longer exists. But if you refresh, it'll put it in your drafts and you can pull it up and edit it. But I think that's what it is. But it's there at least. You just have to check the category really, really closely.
What's that?
What? What? Oh, you see his Santa? Oh, I'm not pushing X. People won't like if I leave the show this early. He said push X. Jackie wants to know if any of us can give quick shipping tips on 2 dining room chairs, 55 pounds. She's saying that Google says to build a box around them.
I've never shipped anything like that. I actually try to stay away from bigger stuff. I'm not scared to ship it. I just don't like to do it. And building a box makes sense because it's going to be tough to probably find a box that big, though. I suppose they're out there. U-Haul maybe would have something.
Yeah, I would say go to U-Haul, get a box. If not, search for a carrier that could deliver it for you in your area. I don't know what area you're in, but look for a carrier.
Yeah, as long as it fits in that dimension, whatever, where they will actually ship it and it doesn't have to go freight, then you could use like U-Ship or something. But I would saran wrap them together. I'm a big fan of saran wrap, and then build a box around them because saran wrap, nothing beats that stuff.
Yeah, and I have shipped chairs, but I brought them to FedEx and they pack them. So I would say if they are chairs worth a lot of money, that is one option, bringing them in and having them pack them. And the other option would be to, like, I have an air conditioner box that I still have kept for something that big in my other shed. And I think probably a dining room chair would fit in it. But with my Ethan Allen, the pieces are so expensive. I prefer U-Ship. So I go on, get a freight estimate and do that. But I make people message me their zip code to give them a quote. So I put in the item, it says local pickup only. But then in the description, I say that I will offer freight. Message me for a quote. And that's what I would do. I don't know that I would sell or want to ship chairs that were not very profitable and worth my time to do any of the above. All right. Duncan knows to get the questions in early. I will tell you guys, I only got through an hour of questions last week. So Duncan, I saw him say in chat is right. If you have questions and you're here, get them in early so we can make sure we get to them. Duncan says Black Friday sales are about to hit. There should be thousands of people shopping online this weekend. So he's just saying, this isn't a question. So run a sale or Black Friday discount coupon. I put on my sale all the time, but this time the title is Black Friday. I put it as like my header for the one that's running now through Friday. So are you guys doing anything for that?
Yeah, I do the same thing as you. I think I learned it from you. I run like between a 30 and 35% off sale, but I mark everything up like 20% before I list it.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart. Same here. I mark it up and then I put the percentage off. But I'm going to steal that cat. I'm putting Black Friday on top.
Yeah. Just change your title for the week, It's the same sale.
Yeah, I actually don't hardly run a sale, maybe like once a month. So this one I'm actually going to do a Black Friday. It's going to start tomorrow and I'm going to take it all the way to Cyber Monday. And it's going to be a big one. So if you see some stuff in my store, it's going to be some savings.
Yeah, I might change mine Friday, like actual Friday, because mine run Monday through Friday morning, and then I started over Friday morning through Monday. And that one I might run through Tuesday morning, where it runs Friday to Monday, and do a little bit more percent than I normally do, and label that as like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. You know, I'll probably put both and run it Friday to Monday, I think.
Yeah, yours
I
is
think
more
that's
labor
what I'll do.
intensive than mine. You run like a week-long sale. I can't get in and constantly change it, so I just run it for like, I think however long it lets you do it, like 6 weeks.
So here's the thing, and I talk about this on the channel. If you're running a sale for too long, there's no urgency for your buyer to buy. So if you're running that sale 30 days, they're like, oh, I can come back in 3 weeks and get that. So I just have the habit, like every Monday I wake up, I put it back on. Every Friday I wake up. So I've just developed the habit. You can also schedule them out. I could schedule them out the rest of the year right now if I wanted. But if they see they only have 2 days left on a sale, I feel like they're going to be more likely to buy versus having 30 days, which I think is what the max is. That's why I do it, because I think it makes them think they have to do it.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Question. When you're running an eBay sale, do you make better offers to watchers or wait until the sale is over?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I run a steady sale, so you know my store is in a perpetual sale. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the conversion rate is, but I'm fine to offer 5% off and make a sale. You know that, and I don't even write a fancy message. I just use the default message, hit 5% off, and send. I don't even mess with it, and I make a lot of sales that way. So I don't mind sending offers. I send them all the time.
I think making offers, it's been helping with my sales. So I don't mind making offers, especially if I didn't pay that much for the item. And also if I had the item for a long time, I'm really going to send an offer out.
If I am running my sale, since I don't do it very often, no, I will then hold all my offers until a day after the sale closes.
So I run constant sales. It's always on except for a few hours each week. And I always send offers as soon as I see them. Now I typically send like 15%, but like Taffy was saying, that can go one way or the other. If it's brand newly listed, I might send them only 5 or 10%. But if I've had it a year or two, I might even send them 50% off to get it out of my store, because I'm like, somebody's looking at this and it's been sitting here for years. So I definitely can do a little bit more if it's been there a long time. Diana wants to know, do you give your customers options on eBay for shipping? And if so, which ones?
No, I mean, I just pick every once in a while. Last year when we were having all of the shipping delays, I gave options like on media mail versus first class. They could pick. And what I started doing was I would offer you free media mail, but if you want it sooner, you can pay an upgrade fee for first class. But I sent so much smaller stuff that's first class or padded flat rate or whatever, you know, that the price doesn't really change. Like there's no reason for them to look for another option for me.
Yeah, correct. Same here. I normally try to use flat rate envelopes from USPS, or if it's first class, I use regular envelopes, but no options at the moment. It's been working, so.
Yeah, I usually don't give them options. I will pick the cheapest one, and then sometimes if it's like super high or something, they'll message me and we can work. You know what I'm saying? But usually no, they don't get an option. I pick the cheapest.
Yeah, I typically 9 times out of 10 am going with priority mail as my option. Now that we're getting into Christmas, though, I'm gonna do the Dolphin. Wait 1 second. Let me answer the question. I will add priority even on first class items in case it's a gift and they want to pay up for priority. So first class would be my first choice that would show up, and then priority would be available. I told him Richard sent him a Dolphin. That's why he's asking for the Dolphin. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Dolphin
there you
time.
go. Dolphin for Dalton. No, not 2 Daltons. Don't get greedy. Here. Yeah, just one. Dolphin?
No.
You don't like him? All of a sudden? Are you sure? Don't pick your nose. Everybody's watching you. Okay. He like I said, he hasn't had a nap, so we're putting a lot of faith in his saying he will be good tonight. Scrappy Stamper. Question: shipping pre-owned 50% or more full perfumes. eBay says no, but there are lots listed and developed. I don't know what this means. Lots listed, developed sensitivity, and don't want to pitch it. Oh, they're saying they have a lot listed.
Right.
And they don't want to pitch it. So what is the scoop? I guess we can all kind of say what we know about this and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I've only done it a couple times. Like I don't find a lot of it, but you can ship it or sell it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can sell it as like vintage collectible or something like that. I mean, they sort of changed the rules. You can't. They won't let you sell used anything that like there's actually an applicator that you put on your face. But if it's a bottle of perfume, I think as long as you're selling it as vintage, you're good.
Yes, when I sold some in the past, I put vintage. I've never put new.
I actually don't think I've ever sold a half-empty bottle of perfume.
And I sell them and still have them listed. And they are listed as vintage collectible, like just as a collectible. You can't put them even in the perfume category, or I think they will pull them down. That's Taffy. He's pointing. PK Demas, if an item is returned because the buyer changes their mind, do I have to return the original shipping too? I have buyer pays return shipping, but don't want to eat the original shipping costs for that reason.
I don't. I mean, if that's the reason that they change their mind, I don't refund their original shipping, and certainly won't pay their return shipping.
Yeah, same here. If buyer's remorse, they have to pay for shipping back, and I'm not returning the original shipping either.
I agree with what they said. I do free returns though, so that one's going to be under my free return thing. But I don't get a lot of change my mind. I did one time when a golf club really made me upset because I know he went and played golf with it.
No, go to that.
Right.
I know he did. It was like 2 weeks later. He changed his mind. I was like, no, he didn't.
I use this. It's okay. I do not return the original shipping, but if you're a power seller, one of the benefits that eBay gives you is they will pay, like the customer could complain and then they will pay back that original shipping to them. So it does not come out of my pocket. Yeah. Let's see. I see a bunch of flipper dolphins. CC. In one of these shows, I saw someone said there was an eBay beta test to require immediate payment for offers made or accepted. Any updates, or is this a rumor?
No, it's testing. Like they're doing it finally. I don't know how long it will take for them to roll it out so that it's actually available to everybody. There's some people that are actually annoyed about it. But I think for the vast majority of sellers, it's a long overdue thing. I get they're complaining about like, hey, we have customers that come in. I think it's the stores that specialize. Like the auction professor is all up in arms against it because he sells to a certain clientele over and over and over, same sort of things. He has lots of people coming back versus the people that have one-offs. If you have to pay immediately, that doesn't work for people that might pick up 5 things during the week and they want to combine that through the week. And I get that. So I think they should allow you to turn it on or turn it off and not make everybody use it. But I think for the vast majority of people, I think it's a good thing.
Same here. I think it's a great thing as well. Luckily, I haven't got too many customers lately that haven't paid. They have been paying immediately. So I'm crossing my fingers again. But I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I would say that I have a couple offers and I think I have 2 unpaid right now. So I would really appreciate it if they would test it on my account.
Yeah, and I would as well. And it's definitely not a rumor. It's definitely being tested. And all the other platforms on Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook, you make an offer, that money's locked in right there. And you know that it could come out of your account. Now, if they don't accept it, you get your money back. but that is like industry standard everywhere except for eBay. And I think eBay should, obviously they hopefully are starting to get on board. So, and Dalton was playing by my cords. That is why I disappeared. So hopefully he's moved to the other side of under the desk. Pear Tree Finds. I bought a water filter and the outer plastic wrap is coming off. Should I take it off to make sure it's new?
I mean, I think you'd be able to tell if it's new, right? Like if it's open enough for it to come in and out. I don't know. I think you'd have to kind of see it, right? But I probably wouldn't. You know, I'd just say, hey, it's new with damaged packaging.
Yes, if I can't see it, I don't have a visual, but if I can't guarantee that it's new, I wouldn't put new, but it's up to you personally, but I probably would say it's used. If it looks used. If the box is damaged, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if that filter can come out of that plastic sleeve, then I don't know, because if it's used, then I probably even wouldn't sell it, because it would be difficult to sell a used water filter. Some of them, they change it out and put it back in there. But if that filter can't come out of that plastic thing, there's like no way they resealed it or anything, then I wouldn't take it off. I'd be like, that is new.
Yeah, and if you mean like plastic around a box, so most of the water filters I've got, they're in the box, and then inside they're in like tinfoil. So if it's like a small one, there might be another wrap around it on the inside. If you mean around the box, if you can tell the plastic wrap is new, I don't think I would take it off, because like Julian saying, like a water filter is a one-time use. So I would like show photos of how the plastic is, as long as there's no way somebody could have gotten it out of that and back into it where it could be used. All right. Dalton, would you like to come see a dolphin?
Dolphin time.
In a minute. He's coming out. Okay, Rebecca Davidson sent a $2 stupor sticker, and then I saw another one as well. So I'm going. Would you like 2 dolphins?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Super chat.
All right, here's
That was
another
fun.
one. Miss Tammy says, thank you for helping me. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
All right, good job. All right, here you go.
Super chat.
I don't like it.
You didn't like the second one? Okay.
No.
You're very temperamental this morning. This
I
afternoon. I don't even know what time it is. That was a big one. How big do you want it to be?
That big.
That big. Okay. I'll work on a better dolphin for you. I'm sorry. Peggy says, I just opened a store yesterday. Where can you find to make your banner for free? She means her store header, just so you guys know.
So like a service or something, or a program?
Yeah, I think that's what she's asking.
I mean, mine, I think I grabbed like a picture of the mountains. Like I really did not put that much effort into it, to be honest with you. I know that, like eBay, that's something they're stressing. Like they want you to make it a store, and they want the about section filled out. I really don't think most people are shopping on eBay like that. You get followers, but I think most people are doing a search and they find the item. So I didn't put that much work into it, honestly.
Yeah, same here. My banner is very basic, but if I say you want to do one yourself, I would say search it on YouTube. They probably have easy ways to do it, and it'd be free. You just have to take the time and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Canva is pretty good because they already have like one set, because that banner is a certain like pixel or something, and you can really get annoyed very quickly, because I know, because I tried to do an Etsy banner, and it was insane. So I went to Canva and did that, and they have it in like the right pixel size, so your pictures aren't all messed up.
Okay,
Yeah, and I only could do my own because I'm used to doing thumbnails for YouTube. But I would say you also can pay probably like $5 and go to Fiverr.
Yeah.
It's Fiverr and have somebody create one for you. If you don't, it takes a lot more time than I think you're probably thinking, unless you're doing a basic picture like Troy was saying. Mine took like several hours to get to the right, like everything where I wanted it. So if you're not used to doing it, Fiverr might be a good option. I don't know if Margaret's asking us this. It's Facebook Marketplace paying shipping until December 17th. I honestly don't know either. It's random too when they do the free shipping. It's not always on all the items. So I never like assume that they're doing it.
Yeah, I don't sell on Marketplace. I mean, I sell locally on Marketplace, but I don't ship on Marketplace that at all. So I don't know.
Yeah, I ship on there a lot. There's different coupons that they're offering right now. I know I've seen the 20% off. And I've been getting a lot of majority of my sales been coming through Facebook. So they're running a lot of promotions right now, but all I know is the 20% off as of right now.
Like they're paying that 20% for the buyer to
Yes,
like promote their site
purchase. Yes.
Okay, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
To know.
Cool. I haven't really shipped anything out on there, but I was watching another live and they were saying the same thing, that it was until like the December 17th was so, but I don't know firsthand.
Yeah, and I haven't had anybody say anything, and my Facebook sales have been on the slower side for me, so I'm not sure. Deborah Anderson, this is for me. Did you learn about Kachina Dolls before or after you began to resell? I picked up a large Al Kachina doll. I'd never heard of them before watching your channel. I learned about them while I was thrifting. I picked one up for like $3 because I thought it looked cool. Researched it when I got home. It sold for like 50, and I've been hooked on Kachinas ever since. And to the point, I actually search them out across the country when my collection gets low. I still have 12 right now. Once I get down under 10, I'll probably buy some more. I just shipped one out that sold for $75 yesterday. So I have a nice shelf up there display right to my right because I love them. I love looking at them. I think they're really cool. And once I get under 10, I'll probably go try and find 5 or 10 more to put into my store. So, and I've got several books. A couple of viewers sent me books. And then I also, I bought a book on them to just read and research and know a little more just because I love all Native American. I'm a big Native American fan. Hi, I want to just say hi to my good friend Clay Can, who is in here. Clay, thank you for coming in. Clay is watching while driving. I do that a lot as well. I kind of listen and glance and yeah. Hello, Leroy. Leroy says Miss Taffy is in the building. Thank you for coming in. Oh, Dalton heard Leroy and comes a running. Let's see. I'm looking. Are likes important? I'm assuming they mean like on just I don't know if Facebook has likes. I know Poshmark has likes, Mercari has likes, and eBay has watching. So let's just answer for any of those.
Later on, they ask about eBay. They say, "What are the purpose of likes on eBay?"
So it must be watchers.
So I would think it's watchers.
Yeah, I mean.
So let's answer that. Yeah.
I guess it's important that you can see how much interest there is in your item. You know, is one thing. I do think a lot of times it's people that maybe are selling that item or that particular item, and they want to watch yours to see what happens because maybe yours is priced high. They haven't listed theirs yet, or they have one listed, and they just want to see what happens. You know, I've got the YouTube channel, and so I think sometimes when I list higher dollar things, people see it on the video and they want to watch it because they're curious what it goes for. So I think it can be a little misleading, but I mean, that's how you send offers out. So, I mean, it's a good thing as far as that goes.
Yes, the likes are very important because that's like he said, it allows you to send offers out and the interest in an item. Like say if I'm at a estate sale or something and I search an item, if it has a lot of likes, I'll be sure to grab that item because I know it's a lot of interest and then the sell-through rate may be fast. So likes are very important on my end.
Yeah, I actually really just start paying attention to that when I'm comping things out is definitely the watchers, like Miss Taffy just said. I really haven't done that a lot. And recently I've noticed like I've been looking down like, okay, this one's got like 19 watchers or something. Then I'm more out because that is, you know, it's a lot of people watching it. So it might be more in demand.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would agree, but I wouldn't really obsess over it on your own items. That's because true. You can sell stuff with no watchers, you know, like that first person to see it. But like Julian said, I notice too when I'm listing stuff, like if I'm selling is similar. I haven't really done it for comping much, but when I'm listing, I'm like, oh, they've got 19 likes at this price. So if I go a little below that, I bet one of those 19 people watching it will buy mine. So I pay attention to it as far as that. But I don't think it's like for those of us with YouTube channels, likes could be very, very skewed because like I have like 1,600 followers or something on my eBay store. So people might just be looking like, oh, Kat got that. I wonder how long it'll take to sell. Let me watch that, you know? So I think if like for those of us that are in social media, I think those likes could be very, very disproportional and like, I don't know how much stock. Like, I wonder how many viewers get offers from me because I'm OCD and send them out like all the time. Probably a lot. And I think that a lot of people that watch me that want something probably know that. So if you see something in my store and you watch it, I'll probably send you an offer like 5 minutes later for cheaper. Let's see. This is from Margaret over on Facebook. Thank you to all of you that are watching us on Facebook as well. Margaret has a question for Miss Taffy. What type of things do you sell? I miss being and I'm local to you. She's in San Fernando Valley.
Okay, mainly electronics, vintage fans, VHS tapes, bathroom supplies, vintage T-shirts, anything basically that I could buy for low and sell for high. If it has a high sell-through rate, I'm going to buy it. But mainly like electronic and smaller items at the moment.
Sorry, it looked like my kid was putting a plastic bag over his head. He was not. He was holding it in front of his face. Marsha's this and that. If the buyer paid for shipping, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to refund the shipping. You wouldn't be... Soapbox. I wouldn't want to return the shipping because they paid it and I paid it too. So that's net zero. So if I give that back to them, then I'm now negative on an item because they changed their mind. And that's not fair. So if it was, let's say it's $8 shipping, $15 item, I'm going to give them their $15. But that $8 that came out of my pocket for shipping, I'm not going to refund that back because they changed their mind. Because otherwise now I'm like a dollar buy cost just turned into a $9 cost on that item. So that's why, I mean, and can you imagine doing that like 5 or 6 times a month? That's over $50. That's $600 a year.
And you pay
you would
fees
be
on
out
that
because
too.
you refunded it.
You pay fees on that shipping as well, and so you're out that
You do
money.
10%. Night's Life, thank you for watching over in the UK. I love you guys that watch us internationally. We appreciate you. I know it's like Dalton's even waving. I appreciate all of you guys. I know sometimes it's kind of weird times in other countries when we are on. So when you're able to make it, I appreciate it. Jan Good says, is there a limit to how long a buyer can have an item in their cart without finalizing their purchase?
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Yeah, I'm not. Basically, it's not theirs yet. It's still up for grabs, to my knowledge. But I don't know about a time limit. No.
There can't be one on Amazon because I haven't been on Amazon in like a year and a half, and I had stuff in my cart from a year and a half ago that I just saw when I started doing a little Christmas shopping. I was like, "What is this?" So I don't know on eBay, but definitely.
I don't think I think it would only come out of their cart if they like if somebody else buys it and it's not available. I don't otherwise, but I don't know that you can even see that it's in someone's cart. I know on Mercari, like if I click on an item, it'll say 3 people have this in their cart. So it's like pushing you to buy it faster. But I don't think that I've ever seen that on eBay. So I don't think there's a limit. Black Cat Vintage, when you put 2 free boxes from USPS together to mail something, what do they charge you for shipping?
It's dimensional. So, they're just going to charge you based on height, width, length, and how much it weighs. I mean, you can Frankenbox 5 boxes together. It doesn't matter. It's just how much does it weigh and how big is it? And I'll see people, people will say, you can't do it with flat rate. That's the big thing, right? Like, don't do it. You can do it with flat rate. I never had a problem. I think you have to.
You can alter a flat rate, but the flat rate price goes away when you do that.
Right, but
That's
you should. If you do that, you should black out like the barcode, because otherwise it could go on a conveyor belt and a machine will scan it, and then you might get flagged because the machine thinks it's a flat rate box and you didn't pay flat rate, so it could get caught there. So I always block out all of the UPC codes and any of the flat rate wording. I always just block it out if I use those.
Yeah, what Troy said is he's right. It goes off of measurements and how much the item weighs.
Yep, that's true. I know that you can do that with flat rate boxes, but I have at my post office will fight you tooth and nail on that one, and you can go there and show them the policy. I try to make friends with my postal workers. So my stuff gets out fairly quickly, so I don't use flat rate to make Franken boxes. I just use the regular ones. But you, like Troy said, you can. You just might have to educate one of the workers and see how that goes.
So I don't use the flat rates either. Just I don't really buy them. Dalton's distracting me. I don't really get flat rates because I don't use them. But the shipping would be the same if you put it in a brown box, unless like the only time it's going to go higher is if it's over 12 by 12 by 12. So if you put two number 7s together that are 12 by 12 by 8, you're now at 12 by 12 by 16. And that shipping is probably going to go up quite a bit, at least $5, maybe $10 to $15, depending on how far it's going. So it doesn't matter that they're priority boxes. It's just the overall weight and dimensions of them.
Correct.
The Nerdy Picker, first time catching a live, watches all of us. Thank you for coming in. We are happy to see you here. We are here every Tuesday, so we are glad that you are coming in. All right, Deborah G. In a previous video, I heard Kat discuss promoted listings. Is there any particular rule you use for promoted listings? I now do 5% across the board, and sales have increased.
Yeah, I think it will increase your sales. What I usually do is I'll list stuff and I let it sit for, there's no hard and fast rule, but I usually let it sit for a couple of weeks just to see if it's going to sell on its own without being promoted, if the item and the price itself is going to sell. After that, I'll go in and I will promote it, and I'll sort by how many views and how many watchers does it have. And that way you can see, is it getting the views already? If it is, you may not need to promote it at all because people are already finding it. Or if I promote it, it's like at 1%. And then the other stuff I'll promote. I've just gone to, I used to do, 5% or something. I've now just streamlined it and said, go ahead and use whatever the going rate is. There's the button for, whatever the prevailing rate for that item, that category is. Maybe they overcharge you there, but I'm like, you know what, whatever. And I click it because I'm buying stuff so low that I can afford a couple percentage points to sell it faster. I use promoted listings all the time.
Okay. To me, there's not a rule for it. But basically, if I have an item for a long time, I'm definitely going to promote it. I'm kind of cheap when it comes to the promoting. I say I use 1%. And instead of doing the promoted, like I'll send an offer.
That's a solid way to do it too. I just started doing promoted listings probably a couple months ago, and I wouldn't promote anything because golf clubs are only promoted like at 2.3%. So I was like, whatever, it's not that much. And but then I started promoting everything at 5%, and I actually did see a pretty good. You can see on your little analytics your click through or whatever all those impressions are and all that. They did go up significantly. But I usually do like these things where I'll list for 2 weeks, and I won't promote any of my new items. And then after the 2 weeks will go, I'll go and then promote. Some of them I do 2%, like golf clubs, 3%, and then the rest is usually around 5%. I wait that 2 week period.
Yeah, I do. I promote high. I promote heavy. I promote trending plus 3% because I buy stuff so low that I can. And I was doing 5% across the board. Then I was doing 7%. And I found out that a lot of the categories I sell in, the average is actually only 3%. So I ended up coming out cheaper doing trending plus 3%, because if it's 3%, it was only at 6% where I was at 7%. So he figured out to move his ladder. He is now sitting on his ladder there where everybody can see him. So that's what I do. And I do want to make a note to you guys. 5% and higher is eBay's threshold to push it out to Google. So if you do 5% or more, you will get pushed out to Google, and that will definitely help your views go up. Dave, my friend, Tesla picker in the house. Thank you for coming in, Mr. Dave. I'm glad to see you in here. Marsha's this and that. Oh, that's the same thing. Hold on. We already answered that one. So Hustle Man's asking why they took the ability to see how many watchers. I don't think they took it away, but I think they only show it if it has a lot. That's what I've seen in my experience. You can see how many watchers on your items, but when you're looking at other people's, I only see it if it's like a high amount. Does anybody know anything else about that?
I don't know. I guess I hadn't noticed.
I haven't noticed that either. No, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I guess I never really saw one with only one watcher.
Yeah, I haven't seen them unless it's like you said, like 19.
Yeah, 19 seems to be always the watcher amount.
Look at all of these people that are watching this. You should buy it.
Always 19.
Yeah. Pame says, question, just to clarify, you have free returns, and when you refund, you only refund the purchase price. That is correct on my end. Free returns is free shipping it back to me. That does not mean I'm going to give you the shipping to you back. That's not what that means. It means I'll pay for it to come back to me. Is that what everybody else meant, just to clarify?
Yeah.
And there was another question. How much percentage off the final fee is that again for the top power sellers?
I believe it's 10%.
That's what I said. Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, 10%. Cece says, when you accept returns but require buyer to pay return shipping, does that prevent you from getting top-rated seller? It doesn't prevent you from getting top-rated seller, but it prevents you from getting the discount. So in order to get that 10% discount, you have to have on 30-day free return. So you would still get you get a little bit more off postage. There are a couple other perks you would get, but you would not get that free 10% off your fees unless you have 30-day. And they will do it. Like you could have it on some items and not others, and you would get 10% off of those items. But I will tell you guys, and we say this, I think every show, if your buyer puts item not as described or not working, you are accepting returns, whether you accept returns or not. eBay will force it and you will pay the shipping, whether you have free returns or not. This is a good question because this varies with different resellers. Hilda Lou wants to know, what background do you use for photographing your items?
Like wherever I set it, like literally, because I use Photo Room, and that'll take off the white. Like literally today, I was I don't know if I have. You know what? I probably do. I could probably show on my phone. I was taking some pictures. I haven't listed them yet, and literally I set it. Just to show you what it does, let me turn down the contrast so that it shows on my phone here. I took a picture just sitting on my kitchen counter. So look, there's a glass sitting back there. There's that's on my kitchen counter. Now I've run Photo Room on it, and I still have that picture, and then that's what it looks like.
That's good.
So I don't need to have I have a light box, like a small one. But since I've started using Photo Room, as long as it's well lit, it's going to get rid of all the stuff in the background. Doesn't matter, which is nice because then you can do pictures wherever you are.
Okay. For me, it depends on what item I'm listing. If it's like a clothing item, I have a white backdrop and then I use Photo Room and it comes out really crisp. But for smaller items like shoes, makeup, I bought a photo box and I have some fake grass in it just to make my item stand out. I got a picture to show you guys. That's how they normally come out, and customers love it. It's been working for me. So that's what I use. And I use Canva sometimes, not Canva, Photo Room sometimes.
That's a great idea for those categories where like there's a lot, right? Like makeup, there's a ton of stuff. So that makes you stick out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to start using Photo Room because that was pretty decent. But usually for tools or golf clubs or anything, I use a wood background, like this table. I just put the lights on that because like a socket with a white background looks really, really weird. It's just like a silver blob sitting there. So any type of like silver object, I usually use a darker background, and then everything else I have a photo room area where I just use a white background, especially clothing and shoes.
Yeah, so I have my photo booth's right there, but I still use a background remover because I want it to be that perfect white. That's just my preference. And clothes I lay on the floor. I do flat lay, and I do like my blankets and stuff like that on the floor as well. And then I just use background remover to remove the background. Dale, my BFF, is in the house. I also want to say a big thanks to Mark and Richard, who both are sharing the channel links as well as some of my other affiliate links for me in the chat. So to both of you guys, thank you very much. I met Mark Saturday. Mark came and went to Renninger's with me down in Mount Dora, OG&Z. So, and I got to meet Richard in Cincinnati. So both those guys are awesome. I've met them both in person. Cindy is watching over on Facebook. I know she comes on YouTube side too. She said, so like most of us, I'm listing new and holiday items mostly right now. What kind of things sell best in January after the holidays?
I've always noticed a big jump in video games. You got to think because for Christmas, grandma's giving the kid a gift card because she doesn't know what to get them, right? They got the new system. They want to try it out. So video games for me always take a big jump in January because people got gift cards they want to spend. And then that's the other thing. Just think about, what's somebody going to get a gift card for that they want to go buy for themselves. Right now it's buying for holiday or they're buying gifts for other people. What's the I want it item? So often it's more collectibles and that sort of thing will sell for me.
For me, I would say it's tennis shoes, like personal items. I agree with Troy. Personal items like collectible items, clothing, shoes, they do well for me in January.
Fitness, like shoes, like tennis shoes are going to sell really well.
Oh yeah, people are losing weight, guys. Remember that too.
Yes. New year, new them.
Yep, they stole my good answer of fitness items.
Think of that too, like the new year, their people's New Year's goals. I don't typically see a Q4 spike in sales, and I am not just listing new and holiday items. I am listing whatever I get. I do it year round. So my business model doesn't really change in Q4, and I'd rather that. I'd rather it stay steady throughout the year where I can kind of depend on it. I'm actually a little bit down right now because of that, because I don't have those new and holiday items. I have a few like ornaments and stuff, but nothing really big as far as that.
If you have nativity replacements, those will sell too because people broke
Christmas
them.
stuff sells in January too, guys. Yeah. Christmas sells year round. Don't think Christmas only sells in November and December because it does not. All of the holidays, if it's collectibles, people might want to add to their collection at any point, or if it's a piece they want and they've been looking for. I'm sorry you died. Do you ever get rid of old stock, as in delete it or donate it, or do you try other strategies to sell it first?
I list it and forget it. I mean, I sell stuff that's been listed for 3 years, and it lists, and then you're like, oh, I hope I remember where that's at, right? Because I can see the picture and I know how old it is, and I'm like, man, that is in the back of a tote somewhere. Yeah, I list it, and then every once in a while I'll come across one of my listings and I'm like, oh, that's a low price. It's been sitting forever. And I realize like that was a bad buy. It's never going to sell. And so if I happen to come across it, I'll take it off and donate it, but I don't actually go and look for it. I just list stuff and let it sit.
Yes, I list things, and if it doesn't sell, I'll lower the price, or once again, I'll send an offer. But if it takes too long, I may donate it, but luckily I haven't been able to donate anything. Everything's been selling for me.
I guess it's tough because I'm fairly new, still 2 years, but like the things in the beginning, I probably will take some of those out. But if it's made it to my store and I've listed it, then it's pretty much just set it, forget it, and hopefully it sells. But my storage unit, I've just been liquidating that thing because they were things that never made it to my store. I need to do some stuff in there. So yeah, so I do a little bit of both. If it made it to the store, kind of just let it ride. But if it's like inventory that I just set aside and I was like, I'll list it one day, then I do liquidate that pretty quickly, cheap or free.
Yeah, I have not redonated anything. I have a friend that sometimes will trade, so I'll look at stuff I have, and she sells only in person. She does like a constant garage sale type thing, and she'll like stuff that doesn't sell for her in person sells for me online and vice versa. So I haven't done that in over a year, but we will occasionally trade stock. So I'll end the listings and then go bring her, like I did that with a lot of QVC jeans from a pallet I had, because people buy those in person, and like got like water filters and stuff like that from her that would sell online better. Pommy says, to be top rated, do you have to do 1 day shipping? No. I've had people on that said they do 3-day shipping and they're still top rated. I think the big key is you have to meet what you promise. So if you promise 1 day, you have to meet it. But if you promise 3-day, you just have to meet the 3-day and ship it by the time you say you will. That's the big kicker there. Let's see. Do you ever list something that you don't own?
So like a drop shipping thing?
I would take this as either drop shipping or consignment. Those would be the two things I would take that as.
I have done, I mean, I guess it would be consignment, like for family, basically, like, hey, I found this, will it sell? You know, I don't as a rule, and it can get messy. So you have to make sure that everybody understands this is how we're going to do it. And typically what I do is I say, okay, we're going to sell it, and I am going to give you 50% after fees, after taxes, all that. So you get 50% of legit profits. And I do that on a few items. But as a rule, it's sort of tough if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I have all this stuff, will you sell it for me? That can get messy.
Sometimes I have done it for friends in the past, but it can get messy. So I tell them I can show them how to do it. I do a few items for you, but if you bring me bags and bags full of things, no, I can definitely show you how to do it. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm with Miss Taffy on this one. I would rather show you how to start your eBay than list your stuff and then we split it. I don't do any consignment and I don't do any drop shipping.
Yeah, the only time I have done that, I have done it a few times, and it's been over a year for that same friend. Like, she got really expensive car seats and strollers new in the box on pallets she bought because she's a big pallet buyer, and I would list them on Mercari, and we would split the profit, and I would just forward her the shipping label, and she would ship them. But that was only on like really high-end strollers and car seats that were new in the box that she couldn't sell locally. Other than that, I would not. And the only time I drop ship is if I lose something that I did own and I cannot find it, so I send it to my customer. But as far as listing something that I don't own, no. And it is against eBay's terms of service to drop ship, and you will lose your account if they catch you, just so you guys know that. This is a good question. We're coming up on that time of the year. Lauren P., is there anything different you plan to do to improve your store for 2022?
I think, I don't know if it improves my store, but it would, I guess, indirectly, in just organizing the way I do things better. You know, I think I've got a system, but I didn't start with a system that fits. I have 1,200 listings active right now. My system works for me because I make it work, but it could be better. And so I think I just want to improve my organization and how things are put together, my process of unlisted to cleaned and sorted, ready to list, that sort of thing. I just want to make that better. And then I'm dabbling in a couple new categories. You know, I like to slowly learn new categories, and that's, for me, that's buying a few things in it and then researching and figuring out what's valuable, what's not, what works, what doesn't. So I've been doing that here in the last month or so. I've been starting to try to learn a new area.
Okay. For me, I would say it being more consistent. Because I like going sourcing, and my death pal is growing. So I'm like, hey, relax, start listing, and also being organized, because I'll have things listed on eBay and Facebook. It'll sell on Facebook and I don't take it off eBay. So then it sells on eBay. And here goes a ding, so just being organized, consistent. That's mainly it for me.
going into like 2022, I'm in a spot where it's actually better than last year, is because I actually have inventory sitting that I am actually holding for a certain time of year, right? So I understand golf clubs sell year round, but they sell a lot better in the spring. And I don't like before I had to list things because I didn't have like things to list. Like I was always starving for inventory. And right now I'm not starving for inventory. So like I've set aside all my Harley gear that's going to sell in the summer or spring. That's set aside. I'm not worried about it. I have enough Christmas things to list and keep me busy. So now I'm like setting aside times of, when February hits, March, I'm going to go ahead and start listing those hundreds of golf clubs that I have just sitting that are already prepped, and they'll just do a lot better than if I sit here and try to sell them now. Sure, a couple will sell, but I'll kill it next spring because I have that stuff just sitting around.
Yeah. For me, I want to teach my niece to list a little bit more. As far as different stuff where I don't have to really pick through for stuff for her to list. She's been here for a couple months now. Last time only lasted a month. So I'm hoping she will stay. I'm hoping I can do good enough to like give her a little Christmas bonus to incentivize her, because it really does help me, her being here, helping me to list stuff. But I haven't taught her the breakables. So I want to like kind of do that. And I want to get some more like reseller boxes out. And that's not improving my store, but it would improve my death pile and like kind of move through some of my stuff better. If you watched, I met somebody at Renninger's who has 15 large totes he is trying to liquidate. And I am very, very seriously considering that. And I actually had a really nice viewer who lives in Pompano Beach where the stuff is, reach out to me, and she has somewhere I can stay. And she offered it to me, which is amazing, which makes it even more appealing to go down there and buy this gentleman out. But he's 76. He just said, he's ready to retire. So it's not like it's bad inventory. He had really nice stuff. And $100 for a big tote of collectibles and jewelry is a very, very fair price. So I just need to find a system to kind of move through my stuff. It's not improving my store, but improving my business. I want to start listing more high dollar items and increase my average sales price. I think I've raised it about $10 this year. I would like to kind of bump that up a little more. I think I was at 25 at the end of last year, and I think I'm at about 35 right now. So other than that, though, I mean, we're going good. I just need to kind of get a better process to make sure all the stuff I'm getting is getting listed in some way, shape, or form where I don't have all that backlog. Miss Bonnie stop sticking your tongue out at them. Miss Bonnie wants to know, where do you get your shipping supplies?
eBay often. I do get some the clear bags from Amazon because I got a good deal on there, but I get my bubble wrap off of eBay. I get my boxes off eBay. I mean, that every once in a while I do keep some on hand from Staples because they have a couple different sizes that I like, and their boxes are really good. Or the free USPS boxes.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. I go to a Walmart in my area, and I know the people, and they give me some boxes. I also get the ones from USPS. As far as Bubble Mailer, I go to either eBay or American Bubble Boy, and that's basically it.
Yep, I do the same thing. USPS free. I a lot of eBay supplies. My favorite box is the 8x6x4. I love that box. Mm-hmm. And then, Kat, do you have like a Bubble Boy like affiliate link or something?
I do. I'm sure Richard and Mark are amazing at putting all of my affiliates in the chat. They drop Bubble Boy, they drop Worth Point, they drop Buy Me a Coffee. They are both absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate them. I bought Mark's dinner on Saturday. I appreciate what they do. And yeah, so I appreciate those guys. Free USPS boxes, and then most of my supplies come off of eBay, whether it's the free eBay shipping coupon or eBay is cheaper than Amazon a lot of times, guys. It is cheaper, but in a time crunch, I will use Amazon. Like if I am like, oh crap, I didn't notice I'm out of 8x8 boxes and they aren't going to come for a week and a half, because most boxes off eBay come ground. So they'll take like a week a week and a half to get there, then I'll buy like a small, like 25 pack off of Amazon that'll get to me fast to last me. And of course, Bubble Boy for my bubble wrap. And there, Joel's amazing. It comes in 2 days. I have mine on auto ship now, so I don't even have to remember to order it. I absolutely love that. I had to figure it out though. It took me some time. I actually get the 4 rolls every 3 weeks. I was being all like, I need 4 rolls every week. No, I do not. Oh, now he's letting the dogs in. We'll have a party. Just one dog. just one dog, Mom. Just one dog. So I love that it comes fast, but I did it the 2 weeks and then I was still having a bunch of extra bubble wrap. So now I have 4 rolls every 3 weeks and that's what's been working for me, but I can change it because I would forget. And luckily it comes in 2 days, but if it doesn't come, then, you know, and guys, listen, I am only 10 minutes behind in the questions. So if you have a question, now's a great time to put them in. I don't think I've been this caught up in a long time. This is absolutely amazing. Jersey Gypsy Corner Store for the panel, because she knows I do YouTube auction. Will you be dabbling in YouTube auctions? No fees, more watch time, and interacting with viewers.
I mean, I've been on a couple, but you have to have the built-in audience for it in order to make it work. I mean, Kat's big time, so it works for Kat. You know, you've got to have the number of people there. Otherwise, you have no fees. But if you've got 20 people watching, your thing might sell for $4 plus shipping, right? So you have to balance it out.
Yeah, I don't have the same audience as Kat. I may join another reseller's auction, maybe like once a month. I'll try it, but I haven't dabbled in that area just yet.
No, the stuff I sell, it would really be like hard to get that many people in one area that want to buy like a 9-iron. You know, like, you know, I don't think that would be.
I know. I messaged Daddy. Daddy should come get you.
And like Kat she has a good audience on what she sells. So like, and they, you know, so it definitely works out well.
So that's kind of shifted for me. So one, I do not do any auctions on my own channel. Number one, I do it once a month on Yvonne's channel, but that's kind of shifting. I was actually talking.
100% she hit her chord.
Now I have a dog running around. There's a dog running around and a kid around the wires now. So,
and like a $7,000 breakable thing behind you.
That's true.
It's okay. Hopefully if my husband doesn't see this message, I'm gonna have to run Dalton in real quick. So I don't do it on my channel because I feel like some channels do better with that because they do a lot of live sales. So I don't see myself doing it on my channel at any point. Because I just don't, I'm starting to get that audience, I guess is where I was going with that. Like I did my live haul on Friday night and I sold quite a few things. I was very surprised. That was not my goal of going live showing the haul. But it wasn't an auction. I'm like, if you guys want it and like this stuff, tell me. And I sold, I think like 5 or 6 items, maybe a few more. But that wasn't my goal. But I am starting, I think as my audience is growing, so are people who want stuff that I'm finding. You know, so where before, even just like a month or 2 ago, I didn't have that. Now I'm starting to get people like, oh, I want to buy this from you. That's very, very new to me. And it's different. I'm like, oh, this is like really surprising, you know, because I haven't had that. Yvonne does several sales on her channel. So she's got more of the like live auction viewership. And I think that's why like it's better for us to do it there on her channel versus on mine, where it's a lot of resellers who most are not the live sale buyers. You know, I feel like that's more collectors. And I don't know that I have a big collector audience. It might be growing, but I don't know. I wish George was here for this question because I don't know that any of us can answer it. Is the market dead for American Brilliant Cut Glass and Depression Glass? I can't seem to sell it.
I don't know what American Brilliant Cut Glass is, but my Depression Glass, I randomly pick it up because I think it's cool. and I've sold that handful that I picked up, but they take a long time for me. Like they don't move quickly. I think maybe it's because the market got flooded a little bit. Like a lot of people started picking it up.
Well, and it's mass produced too. You have to figure there are tons of these pieces out there. Most of them. I think the main thing with any of the glass or collectibles for me is you need to keyword it. You need to use all 80 characters, and you better think of any little thing like trinket dish, candy dish, bowl. Like I'm putting everything they might possibly use this piece for in my title to try and get more people. But I'm not up on trends and what's selling now. George would be the perfect person
George would
for
know
this
right
question.
away.
George knows everything, I feel like. He's like a walking encyclopedia, that man. Bonnie, what about bubble mailers or jewelry boxes? I will tell you, I don't know if the guys have my Amazon affiliate link. I have a whole section for jewelry supplies, including like to photograph jewelry, the boxes that I use to put them in. I buy like 3 different sizes. I buy like a 2-inch, and then I buy a 4x4 for like bigger brooches, and I shipped a watch in one the other day. Watches will fit in those. And then I put the jewelry box inside of 6x9 bubble mailers that I get off eBay. So does anybody else use the jewelry boxes?
No, I mean, I get a lot of times what I use my eBay coupon quarterly for is for the padded mailers from them. I use those quite a bit.
Jack said something and I wanted to respond and I totally forgot what it was. Now, is the kid shopping on eBay? He was not. He was actually playing my Candy Crush on my phone because his died. He's really bad about not plugging it in, then it dies, and then he throws a fit. But now he has went inside for the moment. For the moment, Dalton is not in the shed, but he left the dog, so I still have the dog in the shed.
I already miss him.
Yeah. Julian, have you answered this yet?
I did, but that's not my username. I might drop my link on because a couple people have asked about my link on my eBay.
Okay. Treasure Queen 1980. Have any of you had an appraisal done on an item you found?
I haven't. No.
I haven't either. No.
I have not.
So the closest I came, I don't know if you guys remember. I bought a violin for like $250 or $300, and there was one very, very similar to it on an online antique auction, kind of similar to like Sotheby's, like a high-end antique auction, and it was just for violins. I didn't have an appraisal, but I messaged them, I emailed them with pictures, and they said we only deal in violins worth $1,500 or more. And then I knew, okay, mine's not worth $1,500. And they actually it sold for $500 though, so I still doubled my money. But I wanted to make sure first that I didn't have a $15,000 violin before I went and listed it on eBay. But it did sell for $500 on eBay. Other than that, and I say this a lot, and appraisals are fun if you just want to know, but appraisals in the resale market really don't have much. Hercules, he's sniffing. I don't like that. I see him in the camera. But an appraisal is more for insurance value, to prove something's worth that for you to insure it, because an appraisal doesn't mean crap if nobody will pay it. You know, so like you could go check comps, like you might be able to get an appraisal to make sure something's real. I could see doing that if it was like a higher value item. But as far as a dollar value, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay. So I don't think it carries much weight for me anyways. Unless, like, some jewelry I brought to the jewelry store to make sure it's real, you know, because I don't want to list it as something and it's not. Excuse me. Queen of Snacks. What is one item you have found that you just can't sell that you've kept for yourself?
Well, that guy, the prospector, I found him like year 1 of doing my YouTube channel, and I just absolutely loved him. It's handmade by a lady that apparently was very big in the whatever that is market, like handmade dolls. She was in magazines and stuff. Bought him from her niece. She was telling me all about it. I mean, the work on it is incredible. Like the guy's got chest hair. He's got, I mean, it's really, really cool. And it just fit with the channel. And everybody that watches was like, you can't sell him. You can't sell him. And then I've had other people that have said, like, that have offered like $300 and $400 and $500 if I were to sell him. But he's turned into the kind of the mascot. So he's not going anywhere.
Me personally, I always like buying vintage t-shirts and, vintage crew necks. And I always say I'm gonna sell them, but I end up keeping them for myself.
This is usually going to be some sort. Well, I just got a new safe, and that was initially supposed to be sold, and then I redid it, and I was like, I ain't selling this thing. You know how much this thing is worth? So I put it in my house.
Okay.
That's my most recent. I'll give you that one.
Okay, here's mine. It's on my finger.
Oh,
I got this ring
nice.
from a personal buyout. It is antique and garnet and worth about $600, and I paid $5, and I like it, so I kept it. My last ring, I actually, because me and Brad just got like cheap Walmart rings. I'm not like I need a diamond kind of girl, if you guys haven't figured that out yet. So my last one was an auction buy I found, and then I came across this one, and I've been losing. This one's starting to fall off. I've been losing weight, and my other one was too big, so I kept this one. And this one I might get sized. I might get sized because I really like it. But that's I just saw it and was like, oh, if that'll fit me, I'm keeping it, and I kept that. Pomade. This is another question that might be a little bit better answered by George. I will say what I do, and then I'll let everybody else I use Google Lens a lot because a lot of the makers and pieces are very, very identifiable by Google Lens as to like what company made what piece, because a lot of them were very specific to certain companies. And Google Lens a lot of times will identify like the maker and the time period for you. Troy, what do you use? Like,
I mean, if you're looking for like the depression, like the uranium glass, you can use the UV light. It often has kind of a look, like you kind of understand the look, where you have a good idea of. I think that's that. I mean,
there's pink depression, there's green depression. There's so many. That's why I said George is probably better. And I know a lot of you guys, if you see us selling like one or two items and we're on YouTube, you think we know like so much about it, but that like we probably don't. A lot of times we just happen to find that one piece. That happens to me a lot. People like think I know a ton, and I have to research just like you guys do with pieces. I wish I had George's. George, I'm telling you. And again, seeing him at the show at Renninger's, he's like this walking encyclopedia that like, but he's a certified appraiser. He has that knowledge. He's went to school for it. Like he's very, very knowledgeable. But I would suggest Google Lens if you don't. And Troy's right. I actually have my UV light right here checking for uranium glass if I remember to bring it in. I pretty much know by looking at them now what will glow though. That's a good question too. What new category would you like to learn more about and sell in the future? We touched on this a little bit, but.
Yeah, the thing that I'm working on now is getting more into comics and specifically graded comics. Because right now the turnaround to actually send something in to get, I actually sent a game to get graded. And it's been there. It was supposed to be back in 35 business days. And that was like 2 months ago. And, I've emailed and they're like, well, supply chain. And I was like, I have no idea when I'm going to see it again. So right now it's real tough to send anything in, but collectors are still looking for that. And comic books are hot. So there are places where you can buy them already graded and get them like at an auction or whatever, and then flip them for a profit. Often maybe it's a spec, like there's a movie coming out down the road and you want to buy it and hang on to it. The next Star Wars movie is going to come out. Hang on to that. And then when the movie's getting ready to come and people are excited about it, then list it and you can make more. So that's what I've been learning about right now.
Okay. For me, I would say sports equipment, golf clubs, baseballs, bats, The gloves, those do well as well. So I'm trying to learn more about that.
I would like to actually. It came from Troy. I was watching Troy, and he was talking about that leather-backed book he got, and I actually found some at a yard sale. I bought them just to like learn about stuff, and some of them are like worth a ton of money. So I've been looking a little bit into them books, Troy. I forget it was
If they have a
Franklin
sleeve-
Library, right?
Free tip for you. If they have one of those, like the sleeves that they go into, very often they're worth more.
Interesting.
People love those books that are like 2 or 3 or 4 book sets that go inside. Those
like
are,
the little leather case. Yeah. I would really like to learn more about art. I've done very well with the few pieces I've like come across, but I feel like you can find that cheap, like a lot of times that's, worth a lot. And like I sold a bunch of little silhouettes I picked up for $1 for like $30 and $40 really fast and under a month. So I would really like to learn more about art. I just hit my cord. I'm going to show you guys this because it just came in. Sandy sent me 4 coffees to buy a new cord for my computer. So Sandy, I will order a cord after the show. I promise. Listen, I'm just, sometimes it's just there and you don't want to just do it. I will order a new one. I don't have another one here. I will order another one. Thank you. All right. I hear Dalton stomping up the stairs, I guess I should say. Good Life Indy, how do you quote shipping on heavier items without using calculated? I have a Christmas throw that will have to ship 4 pounds. The pricing varies so much with location. I'm hesitant with the listing.
I just do calculated on heavier stuff because I don't want to end up eating the cost if I have to send something to Florida and I didn't charge enough for it, or if it's going to Hawaii, because then you can't ship it UPS ground or something, so I use calculated, and that's probably going to scare off some people that are farther away from you. But for people that live really close to you, it's probably cheaper than somebody else's option. So you still have a lot of customers that are going to buy it potentially.
I agree. We're all in the business to make money, so I will always use calculated because I don't want to eat anything.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It says without using calculated. I would use calculated. I wouldn't do anything other than that, unless I would use the calculated. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sell a lot of throws. I would say I would want to know if you're shipping it in a box, because even my thickest, heaviest throws don't weigh in over 3 pounds. I have maybe had one over the years, and I sell a lot of throws. I pick up almost every throw I come into. So I would say make sure you're weighing it with a poly bag. I ship them in, I will double poly them. And then you use calculated, because you're going to have to pay that. So there's no way around that. You want my phone now? Okay.
Yeah, mine is to poop.
Okay, everybody's happy you pooped. Thank you for sharing that. Here's my phone. Yeah, so you're gonna have to pay it. That's what it's gonna cost. Unless you want to eat that, do free shipping and build it in, you're gonna have to do calculated. I wouldn't hesitate though, but I would make sure he was playing Candy Crush, which is muted. He decided to watch YouTube. I would make sure that it's a throw that's valuable enough that somebody's going to pay up to $20, $25 for shipping. Because if it's rare enough, they're going to pay it regardless. But if it's a more common one and it weighs 4 pounds, then I would think twice about actually picking that throw up. Raining Retro, North Carolina. I've been thrifting a lot this week, thinking thrift stores are pushing out a lot to prep for Black Friday. Do you thrift more or less at this time of year?
Well, I thrift more because my garage sales are done. So I try to stay out of the thrift as much as I can, just because I've got a lot of leftover inventory from garage sales. I intentionally buy more than what I can handle so that I can live through the non-garage sale season, because it only lasts so long here. So I've got a whole lot of inventory that I can list, but I do stop in and then I just try to be picky about what I pick up. But there's also I do a lot of lately online sourcing as well. So I do go to thrift stores more, but I try not to go more than what I need to.
This is my first year as a reseller. So as of right now, I go because it's always back. It's always in the back of my mind. Like, you know what? Let me go. I may miss something, but I'm trying to get out of that because, like I said, I have a death pal. But I'm still thinking about the same amount. The same amount I go.
I'm kind of right in line with Troy on this one. Is that I buy so much during my yard sale season. We still have yard sales, just not as a lot. But I overbuy during yard sale season, so I have like a lot of stuff hanging around, and I really haven't been in the thrift stores in a while. I'll go just to go take a look, but I really don't go to like really source a whole bunch there anymore.
Mama.
I sometimes
I'm
go
on
just
a
because
I'm
I
on a
wanna make
live show.
a video, right? Like
Because
I
that's
need
what I
content
do.
sometimes, so I thrift so that I can make some content and teach somebody about a certain thing. Or that's what I did with tomorrow's video, sell through. Here's the things I picked up, but I picked them up to show you this is what sell through looks like. So sometimes I go to thrift because of YouTube, honestly.
Yeah, and I am only going to thrift because of YouTube. Because I source 90% of my stuff on auctions. I'm not sourcing for myself now. And if you guys are watching me, you know everything I thrift right now is going into reseller boxes to you. I did source at Renninger's because that was an antique fair. That's not stuff that's going to be able to be doubled and still be profitable. So I am keeping all of that stuff to list and sell. But for me, it wouldn't change. And I'm in Florida, so I have year-round yard sales. I might start going to some more, but I have to drive over an hour just like I do thrift stores. And it's kind of hard when the yard sales are kind of spread out, so it ends up being a ton of driving for me because it's like an hour there. And then if they're like 10, 15, 20 minutes apart, then it's a little bit harder to do that. That's why I prefer, if I'm going out, to go to the thrift stores because I know, okay, there's 3 here, within 5 minutes of each other after I drive that hour. And the fair I went to was absolutely amazing at Renninger's in Mount Dora. And they're having that again in January and February. And honestly, if you brought enough money and were prepared enough, you could source for yourself for a month or more at that fair. And they have I saw like in December, they have a yard sale day. So I'm assuming that whole giant space is full of yard sale people, which would be awesome. So I might, if I'm off that weekend, I might go down there again to check that out. So for me, I guess I'm not thrifting more or less right now. Does anybody that's on the panel have a video on how to access the eBay free coupon?
I
Okay.
should.
Kevin Commonwealth Picker does.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, search YouTube. It's not something we can just tell you really easy. It's eBay doesn't make it easy. Search YouTube for Commonwealth Picker eBay shipping supply coupon, and I bet you will find Kevin's video. I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but Kevin definitely has a video on that.
Yep. I have to
Diana
Google it every
says,
quarter. I can't ever remember.
Me neither.
I can't either. I have to go through it. So I think yeah. Kevin has a video though. What if you have an item, there are very few, or yours is the only one? Should you still promote it?
Yes, maybe is the answer. I would leave it if it's something that's highly desirable. I wouldn't at first, but after it's sat for a while, maybe you want to promote it because that's going to push it. Like Kat was saying, you promote it at 5%, that's going to push it outside of eBay. So another person that's not necessarily on eBay, they might see it pop up in a banner ad, and that's what they want. So I would let it sit for a while, but if it hasn't moved, yeah, promote the thing and see if you can get an outside sale.
I agree. It depends on how long I had it listed. If it's been listed a while, I want to get it sold, I'm going to promote it.
Yeah, if the reason why there's very few or you have the only one is because all of them are sold, then no, I'm not going to promote that because it's going to sell almost instantaneously. But if it's like that pottery thing I bought, that there's one, but there's only me and this other guy have, but none of them are sold, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and push that one out maybe over 5%. So I might pick it up on Google or whatnot. Or if it's the reason because all of them are sold, then I'm going to let that one sit.
Mm-hmm.
No promote.
This comes to my OCD again, and seeing the little button at the top of my screen, I promote everything. I don't want to see you have X amount of numbers of it. And I do the same with best offer. It's the same thing. There's best offer on everything. Everything is promoted because I don't want to see it come up. That's just my thing. But I, like Troy said, it pushes it out at 5%. Plus, even if you only have the only one of that item, if you use good keywords, it's going to come up in other search terms. And I want mine to come up towards the top. So it would help it come up in the top. I want to highlight this because Alice in Vintage Land makes a very good point here. So my statement on appraisals goes both ways, guys. It goes both ways. She said she had an appraisal done and the item sold for $750 more than the appraisal. Be careful before you set, like, pay somebody to appraise it, because again, appraisal and reselling is very iffy because market value is what matters. It matters what someone's willing to pay. And that fluctuates every single day by a lot. Sometimes if you have the only one, and when you got it appraised last year, there were 20, let's say, and now there's only one, or none have been available for years. Like some of the Tiffany ornaments I have coming have sold up to $1,400. And guess what? If one hadn't been listed for a year or two, I'm going to list them at $1,600. And I'm going to make that price go higher. You also, with WorthPoint, which is why I like WorthPoint, I can see 10-year trends. And sometimes I see them trending up, and sometimes you see them trending down. So it's nice to see, like with most of the Tiffany stuff, it's trending up, but some of it does trend down. So when you get those rare higher dollar items, having a 10-year history kind of helps, especially if there's none on the market. Like you can't find anything in the last year, then that's where I like to go to WorthPoint. Renee, do you guys feel like sales are slowing due to the mail backup scare?
I don't think so. I mean, if anything, people were ordering stuff early to make sure that it got there in time. I was selling a couple of weeks ago. I started selling stuff that I'm like, this is a Christmas present type of sale. Like that's what this would sell for in the past. Is this is a gift, but it was going really early. So I don't know that that's really impacting my sales, honestly.
Yeah, same here. I don't believe it's impacting my sales at all. People are buying. As long as you have an item that's a high commodity that people want, they'll buy.
I agree. I have my first shipping thing though that it's stuck in like Columbia. They always get stuck in Columbia, South Carolina. So it's my first package of the holiday season that I have opened up a case on.
Yeah, mine all get stuck in Jacksonville, Florida. That's funny, yeah. Where they get stuck. We all have our spots. We know where they get stuck.
Yeah.
This is going to be very questionable. We can all answer this. What we think. What's the best niche on eBay?
I mean, that changes by season, honestly. I mean, you can look at eBay trends and see what's the top 10, what the categories are. Right now, sports cards are big, non-sport, any kind of cards are really big right now. But, like I said before, so are comics, so are collectibles, there's golf clubs sell really well. So for me, I don't have a niche. I sell a little bit of everything, and I like it that way. And that's what keeps me entertained and enjoying what I'm doing. But I think you can get into the eBay trends and look at what's currently trending.
I wouldn't say a best niche. I would say whatever you're knowledgeable at, and like whatever trending, like what Troy said, because like for me right now, the main thing I'm buying is VHS tapes. The sell-through rate is high. They're not taking that much space in my storage, and they're selling. So I'm just getting as much knowledge as I can about the tapes and any other items that's in demand right now. Video games, anything.
Yeah, and the more I do this, the more I realize that every category has its stuff, and it definitely will sell no matter like what it is. So I like fishing and golf gear. So certain ones, no matter what you get, will always sell, it seems. So really, it all depends on like what Miss Taffy just said. Do what you know and what you like, and make sure that item is in demand. Some stuff that just make sure it's in demand on that one thing that you know and like, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and I want to say we can answer what I don't like having a niche. If you watch me, you know that I sell everything, but I also want to say it doesn't matter what the top niche is if you can't find that stuff. If it's not available in your area, it doesn't matter. So Nikes are hot, video games are hot. Guess what? I can't find them here, so it doesn't matter. You know, to me, it doesn't matter to me because I can't find them. So I think it's really big to know your area and know what you can source from your area that is hot. Like people in the Midwest, vintage farm hats sell for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
If you live in like the Midwest, that's what I would be picking up if I was there. So I say figure out what's in your area. Like I don't have anything where I'm at that's like heavy. Like when I went to Pennsylvania, the glass up there and antiques are insane. They are not here in Florida. They are not. I had a field day up there. I don't see it here. And that's why I don't specialize in anything, because I can't find enough of one type of thing to keep consistently finding it to sell it. But find where you're at, find out what it is, and then that's what I would go for. You just got to figure out what that category is that you can find over and over. Lynn, after the holiday season, do you take down holiday items that didn't sell or leave them on indefinitely?
No, I mean, you know, that stuff, Christmas and Halloween in particular, they sell all year round. I was selling Christmas ornaments this summer. I mean, they sell all the time. So, and there's no reason to take it down, because then come next Christmas, you're gonna have to put it back up again, right? So just leave it. I've got a Christmas box, and when it's not Christmas, I do rotate that and move it to where, you know, one of the harder spots to get to. I will move it in my inventory because it's not going to be as popular, and I don't have to get to it as often. But as far as the items themselves, leave them up.
I leave mine up as well because people shop. A shopper is going to shop. If they want it, they're going to buy it any time of the year.
100%. I leave them up.
Yeah, I leave them up too. I sell Christmas every single month of the year. There is no month that Christmas doesn't sell. And looking for Christmas after this Christmas season, like if you are yard selling and thrifting, or if the thrift stores mark that Christmas stuff down, I would buy it. Because I've had a lot of Christmas stuff sell in January. Because if people are taking stuff down or things broke and they're like, it's fresh on their mind, like if they need a new like angel for their Christmas tree, you know, whatever, stuff like that, nativity sets, like replacement pieces, they might be doing that as they're taking down those decorations just as much as they're putting them up. The nerdy picker. This is not a dumb question, by the way. And I will tell you, it's going to individualize by all of us what we think. Do you feel your channels have helped your eBay sales? I'm an itty bitty as a channel, but my store sales are decent.
I don't think you can say, if you've got any kind of sizable audience, that it doesn't help. I mean, I don't think you can say, no, that doesn't help me at all. But on the same, you know, or on the other hand, if I wasn't making YouTube videos, I'd be listing more. I'd be sourcing more. So honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I think having a YouTube channel takes away from eBay sales. Ultimately, if you look at the math, but there are certainly people that see things. You know, I sold a Unabomber, a vintage single stitch Unabomber T-shirt. Somebody saw me pick it up and sent me a message, and I sold it before I even had to take photos and list it because somebody saw it on my video. That certainly happens, but I would make a lot more money on eBay if I wasn't worrying about making 3 or 4 videos a week.
As of right now, my YouTube channel has not helped my eBay sales because I don't promote it on there. So to answer your question, no.
I'm going to say exactly what Troy said, because I couldn't sell those paperweights. And then you guys bought 5, which was definitely a world record in paperweights.
The live show sold the paperweight.
Wow, live show sold a lot. So I appreciate it. And everybody bought one, got 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. Depends how I could fit that thing in there. But Leroy got a ton of them. But exactly what Troy said. Yeah, you can't say that it doesn't, because I do get viewer sales. People will be like, hey, I really like that. Had a couple, throughout the week. But if I wasn't doing a video a day and filming and editing for hours a day, my sales would probably outweigh, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah. And mine, like I said earlier, is just starting, like me showing the haul and selling like 6 or 7 things. That's very, very new to me. Because before, even when I'm picking up stuff at the thrift, it was pretty random. And I would get like at most 1 or 2 viewer sales a week. And most times they're small. Some from this haul were pretty good sales, but most times they're like $5 or $10 people wanting to support me. So it's not like a giant jump. It's just like, I want to get something to show support. But I agree with Troy and Julian. If I wasn't doing a video a day, I would be spending a lot more time on my eBay, and I would probably make a lot more money on eBay if I didn't also have the YouTube side of things. So it probably I wouldn't say it evens it out. I think I would make more without my eBay channel and having more time to put into eBay listings. I think I would make more money. I'm a fast lister. I know they dropped the link. I just want to say Chrissy's Corner. Taffy does have a YouTube channel. I see several people drop the link down there for you. The link is also in the description to everybody's channels who's on tonight. If you're watching afterwards and can't see the chat, everybody's links to their channels are down below.
Thank you.
Amy Props. I have been researching a cool spoon I got last week, and it seems like it's from the 1600s. I have no idea how to authenticate it or price it. I'm going to go ahead and say, I would message George the antique. George. I would message George and send him pictures first. I know he does like $10 per item at like the antique fairs that he does the appraisals. He does 10 per item. I would send him pictures, and if it were me, and then I would either super chat him if he answered and helped me, or I would send him I don't know if George has buy me a coffee. I really don't know. But if he helped me, I would probably send him something to, say, hey, thanks for helping me. And George is very, very helpful and very knowledgeable. And he's on here on YouTube, and he's on Instagram, and he answers pretty fast.
Super nice.
During the holiday season, don't people want to buy new?
Sometimes. Yeah. I mean, that there's a reason that people that sell on Amazon make a whole lot of money right now doing retail arbitrage, because they're going out buying all the toys from Target and selling them on Amazon. But over the last couple of years, there has been there have been articles about it that secondary vintage market is picking up with the younger generation, and they're liking that as gifting stuff. And I think we're going to see more of that this year because of supply chain issues. Our Target here is empty. There are holes everywhere. And so I think people are going to turn to that when they can't find stuff that they want elsewhere.
For me, I've been selling more collectible items. Like, for instance, I just sold some encyclopedias. They're from like the 90s, and then for Christmas for the person, she actually wanted me to hold off on shipping them until later on. So I say some people want new, but it's more collectors out right now as well, buying items.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, both of what they said, because some people, I have been selling a lot of new pants that I had, and some of that Harley gear was brand new, but also I've been selling a lot of kind of off items, collectibles, all types of stuff. A lot of my Department 56 stuff is flying off the shelf.
Yeah, and I think vintage is in right now, and there's no new vintage. If it's from the 1970s, 80s, 90s,
or 50s or 40s or 30s.
They want it. Okay.
They want it all.
Yes.
Early 2000s.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, 2001. Unless it's new old stock, and then it would be new.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the cord. That is the kid and the dog. I don't know if a new cord will fix that issue. Hopefully it will. And I'll run it behind. But the plug-in for my USB is on the front of the computer, which is where the dog and the kid are currently playing.
We need chats for like a gate around you is what you need. One of those.
Yes, I agree. And but I don't know how the dog got out of the fence. They know when I'm in here, and it's crazy because the shed's on the back of the house, like the opposite of where the fenced-in yard, and they hear me out here, and they will break it. They'll dig out the yard just to come to the shed. So yeah. But yeah, so there's no like I have this paperweight. So if somebody wants like a collectible paperweight, like you're not gonna find this new. This is not new. it has a sticker still, but somebody might collect paperweights and they want to get a person a paperweight for Christmas. So, and I also want to point out, guys, with Amazon and retail arbitrage, I have a really good friend who sells over $2 million a year on Amazon. Their profit margins are not what ours are on eBay. He might make 10 to 12%, and I'm making 50. So he can sell 100,000 and I sell 20,000 and I'm making the same amount of profit as him. So that's only retail arbitrage is about quantity, not necessarily your profit margins. So just keep that in mind. Catherine Fell, last week the taxes scare me. So if I'm reselling, do I need to get a reseller license? I don't know if this was how do they know. I will answer this, and if anybody else wants to put anything in, I have a reseller license because I don't want to pay taxes. I buy thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from online auctions. I will say I do not give the thrift stores my reseller certificate just because I don't want to deal with it. Most of mine are tax-free because they're nonprofit. But when I buy from auctions and spend $2,000-$3,000, that's $200 that I'm saving by having my reseller certificate. And now the nice thing is that eBay collects the sales tax for like 46 states. There's only 4 that they're not collecting for. And that's all the online platforms. Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook, they're all collecting tax. So unless you're in one of those unlucky 4 states, they will collect them. But I will tell you, if you have a reseller certificate, you still have to file quarterly taxes, at least in Florida. It might vary by the state. So we have to submit like 0 taxable sales in the state of Florida. Otherwise, I'll get a $50 late fee. Now, if I sell something off of there to somebody in Florida, then I would need to collect and remit it. I would recommend talking to an accountant. I don't know what else I pay an accountant monthly, an accountant and a bookkeeper. They're in the same office. It's one fee. They were actually messaging me today. But the new law in 2022 is if you sell $600, they are going to 1099 you. And even if they don't, it is illegal not to report it, guys. If you're making the money, you have to report it. And I know taxes suck. None of us want to pay them, but that's the law. And I had a personal friend get caught who is still paying back taxes from eBay sales 3 years later. So don't try and skirt the system. That's all I'm going to say. All right, now I'll hand it to Troy and we'll go around. But
yeah, tax evasion just got harder. That's like
That's
people are like, oh, the new rule. No, it was always the rule. You just didn't follow it. You don't have to have a reseller license. I don't have one, but that's because there's no sales tax here in Montana. So, that's the reason I would have it is like, you save that money on the front end, but I don't need that because we don't have the sales tax to worry about. So.
I have one because there's some estate sales out here charge you taxes. So I'll show my permit not to get the charge of the taxes. And I also just bought a van for my business. So I got one to help with the cost of my taxes at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I kind of wrote in the chat, it's every state is going to be different, and even like every county is going to be different on what you need, business licenses and all that stuff. So if you have any questions, I would just seek somebody that knows in your area, accountant, somebody that knows that, so you can get your correct answers from where you live. Because where like Florida is different than Montana, different than South Carolina, so every place is different. So definitely know your local regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and some might require you have it and some don't. I do not have to have one here in Florida, but I need to collect that sales tax. I have it to save the sales tax because I'm only selling online. If I quit all my in-person sales, they're all online. So if you're selling in person, you should be collecting it as well. WJ Life, are we up in sales? And how many sales do you think you'll get this holiday?
This holiday season. Yeah. Let me look. I'll just pull up on another screen here. I am last 31 days down 8.9%. So it's been a little bit slower today. I mean, it's probably because I put the vacation mode on. I've sold $42.45 today. It's been really slow, but it has been a little bit of a slower month. me.
How low did you say you're down? How much percent?
I'm down over the last 31 days. It says down 8.9%.
Huh, okay, I'll wait till my turn.
Okay.
But I mean, last month was really, really good.
You'll understand this in a second when I say.
Yeah.
My eBay sales are down, but I've been depending on Facebook Marketplace. It's really picked up on there.
I'm down 8.8%.
Mm.
Almost the exact same. That's why I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
And I've got everybody beat. I am down 20.4%. This is my lowest month of the year. And I'll tell you though, if you guys remember, last month I was sick for 3 weeks. So I wasn't listing, I wasn't doing much. So that was 3 weeks of very bare minimal. And then like my niece and my mom had the same bug. So she wasn't listing. My mom wasn't cross posting. Like we were very minimal for 3 weeks. So mine are down. I'm still like, I'll tell you though, like I've only done $53 today, but I did $356 on Monday and I did $301 on Sunday. So I'm either doing like a little above average or it's really bad, like under $100 for me. I have $100,000 in inventory listed though. So like for me, under $100, very, very, very bad. But it kind of, it is what it is. And I said it before, I don't normally see a Q4 bump. I normally stay even, but I don't normally drop like this. But I think me being sick for 3 weeks probably has something to do with it. Jackie is asking me, do I live in Ocala? I do not live in Ocala. I was in Ocala today ziplining at the canyons in Ocala. I am an hour away from Ocala. And I did go to Renninger's last weekend in Mount Dora. That was 2 hours for me. And she's asking if I've ever tried Webster Flea Market on a Monday. I have. I tried it one time and it was horribly hot. I might go again, but the problem with a Monday for a reseller, if you're a big reseller, Monday is shipping day. And for me to drive an hour and a half down south to Webster, Monday is the worst day it could be for me. So I've only went to Webster's once.
She's only been to Webster's once.
Me listen. Me and this, it's the dog and the kid. You aren't seeing them because they're under the desk playing where the cords are. So I might try it again, but I don't have a sourcing problem, but I do. I find plenty of stuff. I have no issue finding stuff. If I did have an issue, then is when I would go and try and go to new things. Renninger's this weekend for me was a little more about seeing George and hanging out with George. And I got to hang out with my viewers. I let everybody know where I was. So I got to meet quite a few of you guys, which was awesome. So that was more of like a social thing. I did spend over $1,200. So I did buy, but it was high dollar stuff, which is what my goal is. A lot of it was very high dollar. And yeah, so if I had problems buying stuff, I would probably go there more. I don't know. Did you answer this in the chat, Julian?
I did.
Okay. Like, I hope we get a spike because of the shortage, but I feel like it should be here already, Like, if it's not, it should be coming pretty soon. Because what is it? December 14th?
Bump until Friday, right? Like, I mean, that's normally when my sales only like 3 weeks.
Hopefully.
I don't know. Does anybody but me sell costume jewelry before I answer this?
I have like one off, but
okay. So she's saying after a 10-year hiatus, she started selling again, having a hard time selling costume jewelry. So my tips would be good pictures, good keywords, like really good keywords, and promote it high. When I was doing a lot of jewelry, my jewelry was promoted at 15 to 20%. There are thousands and thousands of necklaces and brooches and earrings. You're competing with a lot of
sellers in jewelry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's just
picking it up so good when I disappear.
I'm amazing at this. I know exactly what she's going to say.
I'm not moving the kid. He's not moving out from under my desk is the issue. I'm trying to get him to, and he won't. But he's being quiet under there pulling the cords at least. You know, but I promoted very, very,
very, very high percentage because the market's just saturated. So in order to get above those others, she's promoting it like 20% in order to get.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah,
that's the number. I really think it is. We've talked about it before. Kat promotes it like 20% on her jewelry because it is just so flooded.
Now the kid is fussing because I made him get out from under the desk. Just beware. Because he learned and was purposely doing that. That's why I disappeared so many times. He figured out how to make me go away. He's smart. But yeah, so you're going to have to promote really, really high. Some of my jewelry's done well on Facebook Marketplace and Mercari as well. And you've got less competition. So with eBay, you've got a lot of overseas sellers. You've got a lot of China sellers that are selling very similar items for really cheap. So you're going to have to promote high, use good keywords, and really take good pictures to kind of compete with them. And but the thing with promoting jewelry high, I buy it so low, I buy it at like, you know, $1.50 a piece, unless it's a high dollar rare piece that's going to sell anyways, that I can afford to promote it at 15+%. I have not started listing a ton of mine. I listed some, but I cap out at 12% right now, and I might have to rethink that with the jewelry. I might have to increase it. How much is Worth Point? I believe I paid $23.99, but I will tell you that piece right there, to research it, for me to be okay paying $750, I wanted to see that history on Worth Point. Yeah. So seeing that history and knowing what the price those expensive pieces pays for itself. I've priced stuff like $200,
and it's really worth a lot more. It's
if you find one really good item,
it pays for itself.
Yeah,
you have Worth Point.
Depends on what you find. Kat finds the weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't use Worth Point because I don't.
The dog is going outside. That time it was the dog. The dog is now out of the shed. Okay, the dog is back in the shed. But it $23.99. But I use Worth Point multiple times a day. So it pays for itself because I'm pricing these items way higher than I would if I didn't have that to reference. So just one item, if you find a rare one-off that you can't find anywhere on eBay, even in the last year, but you look on Worth Point and it's selling for $300 and you were going to price it for $100, that $23.99 subscription just made you $200. Exactly. So if you find it often enough, and like I said, I open Worth Point every single day and use it. PK Demas, if I start GSP, is there a way to exclude items that are shipped with eBay standard envelope? I have quite a few, and I don't think they will qualify with GSP.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, because it's just you're mailing to Kentucky. So they don't care if you get it there by train or by plane. As long as it gets to Kentucky, that's all they care about, I think. I don't do a lot of GSP. It's a ripoff for a lot of customers. And so they will just ignore. Canada will completely ignore your listing. They charge a lot. So I don't use GSP a lot. I use the eBay Standard International. I think you'll make 10 times the number of international sales that way. But I think you should be able to still use the standard envelope.
Yes, to my knowledge. Yeah. I agree. To my knowledge, you should be able to use the standard envelope. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I agree too, because you're just going to Kentucky.
I don't even know anything about the eBay standard envelope. I don't think.
That's where you can ship like cards and stuff like that, and it's a cheaper rate.
Yeah, okay, that's why I don't do very many cards. That's why I don't know about it. All right, we are in quick fire, so we are going to try and answer. I'm only 30 minutes behind. 25 minutes. Not bad. All right. Jackie wants to know if any of us have been seeing shipping delays. She's saying everything she shipped has been shipped fast.
Yeah, mine's going quick. I shipped a pair of shoes the other day on a Thursday, and they made it from Montana to New York by Saturday. So I mean, I'm doing fine.
No shipping delays on my end.
I only have one out of like a couple hundred.
I have not seen any. Christina wants to know if any of us have sold magic cards. She said her husband sells them in her shop and it never goes out of popularity.
I have. I don't find them a ton because I think there's other resellers in my area that specifically go after cards of whatever kind. But I've sold them before. They do sell well.
I haven't sold magic cards yet. If I find some and they're profitable, I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't found them, and like the ones in online auctions go high where it would be too high for a reseller. I think collectors are probably finding them. Catherine, to get a retail license for taxes, call your government office. The county tax collector is who would be able to tell you that the best. And it's going to vary. I'm sure who like issues it varies by state. I'm scrolling. Look, I'm like not bad tonight. How long does it take you to list a new item?
Depends on what it is. I mean, you can, if it's a DVD or a VHS tape, you can list it in under a minute, right? Sell similar, add your pictures, and bam, you're done. So it's really item dependent, but I'm generally pretty quick.
As of lately, I've been getting smaller items, so it's been much faster. But dresses, they take me the longest. I have to put it on the mannequin with the backdrop. That's very time consuming.
Yeah, it depends what the item is. Like golf iron set takes me forever because you have to flip over, 10 golf clubs and position them. They're really annoying. So that sometimes they take me like 5 to 7 minutes a piece, like for one listing. Usually 30 seconds a minute.
Yeah, like DVDs, I can do 30 an hour. But when it comes to breakables and I'm doing 4 and 5 pictures in different angles, I can still do probably 15 an hour minimum. But I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty fast. Let me see. I saw another one. Oh, this is similar too. Do you do your listings new from scratch, or do you sell similar?
Almost always sell similar, and then just make sure that the item specifics, take out the ones that don't match. But I almost always sell similar.
Sell similar because it's easier that way. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder.
Yep, I do the same thing.
I do sell similar as well. Edge City Traders sent a $3 super sticker. Dalton, here's a dolphin. Right here, watch.
Super chat.
And I see there's another one, so I will get that. Diana, why would I want to choose Photo Room over Bazaar or vice versa? I think that's personal preference, I'll say. And I have no affiliation with either. I started using Bazaar when Photo Room wasn't available on Android. It was only available on iPhone. So I didn't have the option to use Photo Room, and I got used to using Bazaar. So, and I know a lot of people that use Photo Room too. I know Photo Room does multiple photos. That would be the only difference, and Bazaar does not.
I've only used Photo Room. I used it and I liked it, so I stuck with it. I think it works really, really well.
Does anybody buy bulk items and sell them in smaller quantities on eBay?
I don't know. Would that be mostly retail arbitrage?
Not necessarily. So I've thought about, and this is mainly because of my channel, like I've thought about buying like bulk poly mailers. Like if I buy 10,000, I could sell like poly mailers in lots of 100. I think that's kind of what they mean. Like you buy it, mass produced. Like some people buy tape. Like Michael was on here. He had his own tape like created for him.
Oh yeah.
And then he sells it, so but I don't do any of you guys do that?
No, it makes sense, but no.
Look who decided to show their face in the show, Kevin.
I told him he doesn't have to pay taxes.
No, Kevin, you're okay.
Yeah,
you're the Commonwealth picker.
Yeah,
you don't have to. I didn't say that. Thank you for coming in, Kevin. I appreciate you, my friend. Look, I'm almost caught up. I'm going. Good place for someone to buy. I think so. She's asking like boxes for reselling or bins. Does anybody have any suggestions?
You do them.
Well, so here's the thing. That's why I'm not answering. I do thrift boxes, but my thrift boxes sell out in 10 seconds. So the chance of you getting one of my thrift boxes are probably about that big. So that's not something you could count on. I used to do pallets and like wholesale, and there was more loss than it was worth. So I don't recommend doing that. There are a lot of successful people doing that, I will say. For me, it does not work. Shop Goodwill does a lot of boxes, and Goodwill Blue Box people are happy with. Dale Flippin' Fiasco gets a lot of thread up boxes that she likes. Maybe look for unboxing videos on YouTube and see what people are getting from certain companies if you want to buy a box like that. Mine are like so few and far between, and they sell out fast. I would want a reliable source if that were my only way. But you can go on high bid auctions, on estate auctions, and buy box lots of stuff that's worth tons of money if you're not yet. But you have to look through stuff. It's not like you can just go and say, oh, I want to buy a box of stuff. But that's just my preference. Sweet Robin, do you have videos with tips for selling on Facebook?
I don't. I don't do it that much. It's here and there, I'll sell something cheap local on Facebook.
I don't have a video, but I would just say take great pictures. Just imagine that you're the customer and you're shopping. You want it to be very clear pictures and something very desirable. So that's what I suggest.
I do not have a video on that. No.
I do have a video on that. If you search the Nurse Flipper in Facebook, I think I have one or two. And I probably am going to update that because I think it's been about a year since I've done one. So I will probably have another one coming out soon. I just want to say hi to one of my other good friends, Dagny Flying Pig Thrifts. Thank you for being in here, my friend. I am happy to see you in here. Yeah, it's not an excuse. It's happening. Dalton? Oh, I thought he was near the $3,000 piece, but he's getting wipes. Okay, you can get the wipes. I'm like, okay, let me breathe now that I'm like, it's not an excuse. It's my life. Yeah. The dog is outside and Dalton is now on the shelf and wiping stuff with Clorox wipes. But that's okay as long as it's not the $3,000 item. It's okay.
That's right.
Sandy, I'm assuming she's talking about Worth Point. Would it be cheaper to buy a year subscription? It would. I don't know. Maybe I should look at that. I just have like my monthly stuff that I do and I leave it at that. I don't even do my eBay store annually. I just figure it as a monthly cost, and I could save money on both of that. Joyce Armstrong, Google Lens is free. Yeah. Richard, another dolphin for Dalton. Dalton, do you want to see? He's cleaning the remote with the wipes. Can you see?
Oh, that's good.
You don't want a dolphin yet. Well, that's okay. You're getting one.
Super chat.
I know you told me not yet, but Richard sent it right now, so I got to give it to you now. Okay, I'm sorry. When you first started your eBay store, what was the best way you found to get your numbers up? Not dollar numbers, but listing.
Well, the dollar numbers are going to come from the listing. Like once you get a whole bunch of stuff listed, I mean, it's just sitting down and dedicating yourself to doing it. If you want to just get a lot of stuff in your store, find stuff that's quick and easy to list, like DVDs, is a good thing, or games or something like that, that you can take 3 pictures of and sell similar. That'll help you get your numbers up really quickly.
Also, if you're just starting off, I would say tell your friends what you do, or family members. They often give you things. I would say list those, and they come up with a schedule. Like I like to list 5 things a day, and that's been helping me.
Yep, and even going around your own house and stuff that you don't use, you can gather 50 items probably in your house small items that you don't use anymore. Boom, there's 50 right there. Maybe you only have 10. I don't know.
I would say, and this is what I did to build my store up. I'm at like 36 or 3,700 listings. Do not climb up there near that.
It's gonna be
Okay.
a show if it gets knocked over.
This is my life. So list more than you sell. So if you sell 4 today, list 9. Like
Yep.
list 5 more than what you sell. If you sell 10, then list 15. And that way you're increasing your store by 5 a day. And that would get you increased by 150 minimum if you use that system. That's what I did for a long time to like build it up. The big thing is like if you're selling stuff fast, you got to list stuff faster than you're selling stuff to grow those numbers. Otherwise, it's a good problem to have. We're going to answer a couple more questions and we're going to go. We're a little bit over right now and I have to work 12 hours tomorrow and be up at 5 a.m. So do any of us ship internationally?
All the time. I sent, I think 3 things. I sent something to Canada, Mexico, and I think Spain today. I mean, I sell, I would guess, you know, it's just guessing, but I'd guess 20 to 25% of my yearly sales are international.
I use global shipping. So yes, I ship internationally on eBay.
I do also, and actually yesterday I had 3 international sales out of 10 or 7. I forget.
I had 3 international sales yesterday as well. 2 of mine went to Canada, and I don't remember where the 3rd one went, but there were 2.
Well, mine went to Kentucky.
Does anybody know the answer to this? Only one of us needs to answer. They know global shipping repackages. Does eBay standard international repackage?
I'm not sure, honestly.
I have no idea.
But I know you're right. I have global shipping. They don't always, but they do often.
All right. Picking the 603 $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Here's your Dolphin. We'll answer one question and then I will let my guests say goodbye. Here you
Super chat.
Thank you very much. Picking the 603. And my good friend Carol, the last question is for Miss Taffy. What is the most profitable VHS you have sold?
It was a movie Alien, the first print. I sold it for $900 and I paid $4 for it.
Very nice.
Yes. And congrats on your sale as well. I saw that she sold a used VHS for $475.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I haven't sold one over like $50. I am going to touch on this really quick because I think there is a really good stigma around this. Doesn't YouTube pay well? That depends on who you are and it depends on how many views you're getting. I will tell you every single super chat and membership, YouTube takes 30% of it. So when you send 5, we get $3.50. And that can vary. And I'll also tell you, it takes you a long time to get to the point that you are making money. So for well over a year, I did daily videos and I got paid absolutely nothing. And that amount fluctuates up and down depending on how many views you're getting. But there are a lot of people that have done this for 3 and 4 years that are still not getting paid anything. I have been lucky. I've been very lucky that I have grown my channel very good. And I make decent from YouTube. I don't want to lie. I do very well from my YouTube. But not like I know so many friends that have been doing it just as long as me that are not making anything for the same amount of work that I'm putting in. So don't assume that it's always good money. But you also have to look at that 2 years of work that led up to making that money that you didn't make anything. So
To get like a
it
penny
can
a
be
view. Like
right. Right. Like you're finally I'm getting back pay at this point for all the time invested. A Dolphin buy. Okay, I will give a Dolphin buy, but let's let Troy and Miss Taffy say goodbye. All right, guys, we have some more questions. Come next week. We will be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have Crazy Lamp Lady Jocelyn on, along with Dagny Flying Pig Thrifts next week on. So definitely come. Get your questions in early. I do get behind. I was only 30 minutes. Last week I was an hour behind. So definitely come out next week. I'm going to let Troy and Miss Taffy say goodbye. And again, their links are down in the description as well as they've been dropped in the chat. Troy, take her away.
Yeah.
And if you have a premiere, Troy, tell them if you have a premiere scheduled.
Yeah, I do. I have a premiere schedule. almost always my premieres at 11:15 a.m. Eastern on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I'll randomly try to drop a video on the weekend. So yeah, we've got one dropping tomorrow. Like I said, talking about sell-through rate, and we're giving stuff away. I'm working my way up to 10,000 subscribers, and rather than doing giveaways at 10,000, which I think we'll still do, we're giving random stuff away with multiple videos as we work our way up to it. So right now, actually, it's sitting over here. We're giving away the handheld Pac-Man game. So you know, and it's just different little things. But yeah, we're up past 9,800, so we're going to get there soon. So if you haven't subscribed, down there, I'm trying to get to that 10K.
Perfect. Miss Taffy?
Thank you, Kat, for having me. I had a great time today. On my channel, I try to post once a week. I try to entertain and inform and just give great content. I'm being more consistent. And I'm also going to have more videos about VHS. So come up, check out the channel below. And I appreciate you guys again. And everybody have a great, great, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, for sure, guys. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. If you're crazy and going out on Black Friday, more power to you. I did it 1 year. That was 1 year too many for me. So I don't brave the Black Friday sales. I am doing a giveaway over on Instagram. If you are not following me on Instagram, even if you are following me, go look. I'm doing either a $50 Amazon gift card or a reseller package. If you go follow me over on Instagram, I'm trying to get to 10K on Instagram. So go check that out and comment. And I actually have for you to put what you're thankful for. And I'm going to draw on December 1st for that drawing. So go follow me over on Instagram. Again, we will see you guys next week with Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady. Do you want to tell them bye real quick before Mommy puts on the video? Bye. Wave to the camera.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Dolphin.